Welcome. Today we're jumping into something huge. We're exploring a question that's been at the heart of theology for thousands of years, looking at texts that talk about two massive opposing forces, divine love and divine justice. We're going to break down how our source material presents these powerful ideas. All right, let's just dive right in with a big question. The paradox that our source material really tries to unpack. How can a being that is defined by this incredible, infinite love also be the source of what's described as absolute punishment? I mean, how do those two things even exist in the same reality? Let's see how the texts build the case. So, to really wrap our heads around this, we have to start where the source material starts, and that's with the foundation of the whole thing, this idea of God's immense, all-encompassing love. And this verse, this is basically the linchpin for the whole argument. It's presented as Exhibit A. Notice how it frames love not as just a feeling, but as an action, a sacrifice. The ultimate proof of love, according to this text, is giving up something unbelievably precious to save something else. Now, this is what's so important here. The source material pulls these specific scriptures to show that this isn't some abstract philosophical love. We're talking about love in action. It's a love demonstrated through real, decisive moments specifically for people who, as Romans 5:8 points out, hadn't done anything to earn it. Okay. So we've got this foundation of profound, active love. But what's the flip side? What's the contrast? Well, the source argues that the ultimate punishment isn't about being sent to a bad place, but about the complete and total absence of that love. And this is the question that pivots the entire conversation. I mean, just think about that for a second. If God is the source of all love, all light, all goodness, what's left when you are completely and permanently cut off from that source? This question is the doorway to understanding what the texts mean by wrath. And here it is, the core definition according to the text. Punishment, at its very root, is being shut out. It's a state of total disconnection. It's not so much about the presence of something evil, but the crushing, absolute absence of everything good, because the source of good is gone. And this is where the source really asks us to try and imagine the unimaginable. Picture it. We're not just talking about being alone in the dark. We're talking about a reality where the very concepts of warmth, love, and mercy can't exist because the thing that creates them has been removed. All that's left is that crushing weight of knowing you are cut off forever. So, if that total separation is the state of being, what does it actually feel like, moment to moment, forever? This is where the source material gets into the visceral, ongoing experience of that reality. Yeah, the language here it's intense. And you see this pattern, right? Forever and ever. No rest day or night. The fire never goes out. The point being driven home again and again is that this is a relentless, permanent condition. There's no relief, there's no escape hatch. And just to really underscore the severity of all this, the source makes this incredible point. This isn't a punishment designed just for humans. It's described as the very same fate that awaits these powerful, rebellious spiritual beings. The implication is, if this is their destiny, its gravity for humanity is truly profound. So, after painting this, frankly, terrifying picture, the source doesn't just leave us there in the dark. It introduces a way out, a bridge, an escape route from this unthinkable fate that actually connects right back to the very first thing we talked about. God's love. And this slide just lays it all out, side by side. It's a tale of two completely different eternities. I mean, look at the language here. Life versus destruction, fellowship versus separation, joy versus torment. It's presented as an absolute binary choice with no middle ground. And this brings us right back to where we started. The source identifies that ultimate act of love, the sacrifice, as the one thing powerful enough to build a bridge between those two columns we just saw. It's presented as the path that leads from one eternity to the other. So at the end of the day, this isn't presented as just a theology lesson. The source material frames all of this as something deeply, deeply personal. It moves from explaining concepts to requiring a response from each individual. And to make that choice real, the source poses this question. It's basically asking, okay, you've heard the descriptions, but have you really let the weight of that separation sink in? The idea is that you can't really appreciate the rescue until you understand what you're being rescued from. So, for anyone asking, okay, then what do I do? The text points directly to this passage from Romans. It's laid out as a very clear two-step path, an outward confession with your words and an inward belief in your heart. And this is where the source material leaves us. After explaining infinite love, absolute justice, the horror of separation, and the promise of salvation, it puts the ball squarely in our court. It lays out two paths, two eternities, and then simply asks, which one are you choosing?